Hey friends, happy Saturday. It is the 19th of August in the 19th week of Ordinary Time. I got it right, made a mistake earlier this week. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. It's nice to take a moment and be with you, to pray with you. I'll share with you a reflection on the daily readings. The readings are linked down below. When I'm done, click the link, read the readings prayerfully, then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. If you work regular work weeks, I hope that this weekend may be a time of rest and recreation to focus on the most important things in life, right? We have a reading from the book of Joshua. I think that this is our last one for this cycle, as well as Matthew's gospel. So Joshua, we have a fairly famous quote from the Old Testament that you can find on the homes of many Christian people these days. Lots of folks like this in their living room or dining room, right? As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Notice what the preoccupation of Joshua is here. It's not the later preoccupation of the prophets, which is that the people are perhaps serving God, but they are oppressing the favorites of God, the poor, the orphans, the widows, the immigrants. Here it is all about idolatry, and it is all about the serving and the worshiping of false gods. So a good chance to kind of check in on that, right? Like, I don't think that any of us are necessarily, offering animal sacrifice at high places where there are carved icons of Canaanite deities. But lots of us can have divided hearts, right? Lots of us can worship at God's altar and then not keep God first in our lives. We can worship the greed of America and the pursuit of more and more possessions, right? We can pursue, the good opinions of others. And so long as we have that, we are satisfied and content, right? We can pursue now these days social media likes and all sorts of things. There are lots of ways for the human heart to worship at other altars, instead of keeping the creator of heaven and earth, the one who has made us, but also who has redeemed us and sustains us, as the most important. And I think that that's what Joshua is inviting us to over and over and over in this reading, as far as keeping God as the God of our hearts and our lives and our households and our homes. The psalm response is a tender psalm response of God who looks after us, God who is our refuge and our resting place and our rock. And so, perhaps you pray that psalm response and especially recommit again to God who provides the safe haven and the harbor that we need. Matthew's gospel. We have Jesus who blesses the children. I have heard before that, Jesus taught adults and blessed children. I find that to be a glorious challenge as a Catholic priest and a pastor, to make sure that I'm doing at least something to try to teach adults, right? So here's what I want you to pray into, right? Jesus says the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these children. What's Jesus driving at there? We can hear different interpretations, right? So we can hear innocence and simplicity. That certainly is a devotional answer that's been given before. But also, this is painful. I don't like talking about this. These children don't have rights. These children are marginalized. These children are on the edges of their society, right? Jesus might be challenging us that the kingdom of heaven belongs to those who are on the outside. And that's hard for me because, I have a position of status and importance and respect and, a certain amount of privilege and resources. I am not an outcast. I am not a child. I am not one without rights. And it reminds me to stop trusting in my own self-sufficiency and independence and control and power, and instead to throw myself completely at the mercy and the whim of God. That's maybe part of what's going on here. How is it, as you pray with this, that you hear the Lord inviting you to become a bit more like a child so that you are ready to receive the kingdom of heaven that belongs to such as these? All right, happy Saturday, y'all. Read those readings prayerfully. Turn off the screen. Spend some time in prayer. Pray for folks that are having a hard time. God bless y'all.